So they're going to go into executive session. I'm going to head outside for a few seconds. Speak with any of the citizens outside who wish to speak. Meantime, let these wonderful citizens in here enjoy their time. They can speak freely. Blue lives policy. For you citizens who are not aware, your board member handed me the rest of her speech to read out. And this is an opportune time for me to do that. You don't have to listen to me, but if you want to hear what she wrote, it's here and I'm going to finish it. They cut her off at her 3 minutes and they fairly escorted her out.
I'm sorry. We gave you your opportunity to speak.
Sir, are you in executive session?
Sir, listen to
can,
me. You can wait and we can have the board vote to let you speak, and I don't have a problem.
This is not part of the public meeting at this time. I can speak openly in this forum. If you want to contest that.
I'm not contesting.
Okay, well, what we can do.
I'm just telling you that I would appreciate if you would wait until my board is over at this and let them make a decision. That's all I'm asking.
My issue.
I'm not telling you no.
My issue with that, I'm speaking with you like a gentleman. If you want to do that, I will agree to that. If your board decides to let me read it, fine. If they don't, I will read it at the end of your meeting, regardless of what you say. Okay?
That's fine with me.
And again, that's not something, you don't get to dictate what I do at this point. During your meeting is one thing. I'm agreeing with you to cooperate. I'm giving you the opportunity. Let me tell you another thing that I noticed and I'm not happy with. Okay? When the board sits up here and listens to the citizens and the president is standing there with his arms crossed like this in a hostile manner, glaring at people, it shows the citizens exactly what they're dealing with. It's inappropriate. I noticed it. I'm not sure if anyone else noticed it, but I did. And I panned back every time someone spoke. It's inappropriate, and the citizens have a right to be heard, and they have a right to do it in their 3 minutes. The board correctly escorted her out because she wouldn't stop speaking. But she gave me her words, and I waited for the opportune time to do it. And this was it. But you want to cut me off? And yeah, you have. That's what you've done.
I just said to wait.
What that boils down to, folks, is again, inappropriate government control over the public's right to speak in a public forum. And you get this that happens at all these events. It's whether the citizen stands up and tolerates it or whether they say something about it. Again, they were correct in escorting one person out. An option was given to wait for the board to allow me to finish reading this. And I've agreed to that because if the board allows that, that's the appropriate thing for them to do, to be up front. And it shows well on the board if they choose to do that. If they choose not to, I will still read the rest of this to any citizen who wants to hear it. I don't know if you saw, but many of the citizens here wanted to hear it. One or two obviously did not want to hear it, and they don't have to. They have the right to walk out, just like I have the right not to sit here and listen to anyone else say anything in this public room. Anyone here can have a private conversation right now or a public conversation. The issue is this is a public forum and anyone can speak. There goes your turn.
Officer, can he do that? What's that? Can he film me when I tell him don't film me?
He certainly can.
It's pretty much public at this point.
I'm sorry?
So it's pretty much public at this point.
Really?
Mr. MOL.
Mr. Barbosa, I will kindly remind you that you told me you were going to bring something to the council's attention when you were an executive. Do you not remember that? You don't remember what you told me? An executive, you said you were going to ask for, but you've adjourned the meeting. Okay, well, as I told you, I will still speak this. Anyone who wants to hear it can wait now. Anyone who doesn't, I'll wait for them to leave so it's not disruptive. I do not appreciate being lied to. I don't appreciate being deceived.
Talk to them.
No, you did that very intentionally. That's inappropriate, and you silenced my right to speak in an open and free public forum. It's an inappropriate action, and it's not one that your citizens should appreciate. So, oh, of course, because that's what you get. So anyone who did want to hear the rest of her resignation letter, I will be reading it, but I will let everyone else leave. Who doesn't want to hear that?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, since the meeting is concluded, let's exit the building, please.
There you go. Yeah, I'll certainly do that. And again, no, I already saw that coming. That's what Mr. Barbosa went and told the officer so that he can again control what the public hears or says. So anyone who's interested in hearing it, I'm speaking it now. This was your former, well, she still is. She put in her 2 weeks notice. Executive Director Rihanna Zambrano. She tried to read this so everyone could hear it. She ran out of time. She requested that I make sure anyone who wanted to hear it can hear it. This is her letter of resignation. I'll continue where she stopped. But basically, she was upset that she had notified the Vice President Bogardus, about her issues with Mr. Barbosa, and nothing had been taken. So going on with her letter, since no action had been taken thus far, I felt it necessary to notify all board members. It was only then that the complaint was acknowledged. Keep that in mind. That means that the top two were hiding it. However, instead of the concerns being addressed immediately, Mr. Barbosa was allowed to interact with his employees and seniors who submitted their complaints, and I feel that he took that time to discredit his accusers. VP Bogardus was made aware of his behavior, and once again, no actions were taken. In closing, since I filed these complaints, VP Bogardus has accused me of not performing my duties. She has made statements such as, "You can always find another job," and just last night accused me of having our contracted IT guy of performing a side job for me, when in fact he was responding to a technical emergency at the center, which all board members were made aware of last night and again this morning. She also gave unrealistic expectations on non-priority tasks, which I believe was done in order to find a way to terminate my employment. This is from your employee, folks, telling you why she quit. And it's something that you need to look at. It may not, I'm not saying everything she's saying is true. That's what citizens need to look at when we come to board meetings. But many of you heard this man right here tell me, "I don't want you to speak now," violating my right to speak when I had the opportunity to. And I agreed because I thought he was a man of his word. But he wasn't. He was a lying, conniving dirtbag. I do appreciate anyone who did wait to hear that. If you want to contact her for her statements, you can certainly do that. Again, this is your community. You've got to come out, not just when things are heated. You've got to come out when you see little things. Let the board members know what you want to see improved, what you don't like. But keep in mind, when board members, presidents like that man, sat there and lied in front of everybody in here, tried to get the police to run me out, looked him right in the eye like, can't you do something about this? See, most citizens wouldn't know what their rights are in an open meeting, but I did. And I told him I will agree to what he did because that would have given him the opportunity to shine as a public servant. Say, I don't like what he's going to say, but the public has a right to hear it. Instead, what'd he do? He shut it down and he kept it quiet. And that tells you right there the content of that man's character. In the future, think about it. If you have that man before you on an election ballot, choose wisely. You know, you're going to have to continue, however things go here in Kirby, making those decisions with your leaders. But watch them when you go to these meetings. Notice when they close their arms.
Okay?
Notice when they close their arms to the people.
Somebody leave a backpack.
It had all my drugs in it.